Okay, so before we get into the nitty gritty of actually learning how to trade and growing your account and all that, I just want to go over mindset. Mindset is not an exact science, but it is very important that you have your mind right. That way you're able to learn from your mistakes and actually grow as a trader and to have sustainable growth. And it is important that you're able to adjust to any new challenges. For me, I struggle to understand that actually learning how to trade is a continuous process that basically never ends. The market is always changing. There's always new opportunities and old opportunities. So fostering a winning mindset is one of the biggest things that you could ever learn when it comes to trading within the stock market. You see, as beginners, we're all very good at attributing any of our losses or failures to lack of knowledge or experience. But as you start having some early wins and start growing your account, all of a sudden your mindset tends to shift a little bit. And what could happen is you may start to convince yourself that you're actually a skilled trader. This makes you less pliable, and it makes it hard for you to learn because as a beginner, you already accept that you don't know anything. It's kind of like if you're hiring a new employee or something like that. Sometimes you want them to have no experience. That way you can kind of train them from the ground up, because what'll happen is sometimes when people have experience, yeah, they bring in their experience, but 9 times out of 10 they're also going to bring in old habits, and they may be bad habits. So it's kind of like that in a way, similar to that. It's easy to have success in certain market conditions, but you always need to remember to keep a growth mindset and never assume that just because you've had some success, you have an innate ability to trade, or even let your ego get in the way of your growth. You have to understand that there's not going to be one single trade that proves you as a successful trader. You can make 100,000 in a trade, or you can make 1,000 in a trade. It doesn't mean that you're a good or a bad trader if you just lose it on the next one. It doesn't testament anything to your success in the future. But the idea that I'm trying to get across is that there are really two mindsets. There's one that focuses on growth, right? Learning how can I become better? And then the other one doesn't really focus on anything. It just focuses on being in the moment and sticking to what you already know. And it's not like people fall in one category or the other, but it's more like everyone falls into both categories depending on where you're at in your career. It's fine to get relaxed and comfortable in your trading, but you always need to be pushing the bar further, because if you aren't growing, you're eventually going to be shrinking. That's just the reality. Put simply, my suggestion is to take each and every single trade not as a testament to your ability, but rather as potential to continue building and doing better. Think about it like if you're hiking up a large mountain and it keeps getting steeper and steeper the higher up you get. Each step you take does make it more likely that you'll reach the top. But just because you're taking steps doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to reach the top. So leave your ego out of it and just focus on climbing the mountain. Now, another tip I can give you when it comes to mindset is to think win-win. Thinking win-win is very important when it comes to trading. Essentially, whenever you have a bad trade, think of it as a win. Whenever you have a loss or a setback, think of it as a win. You just learned a new way that doesn't work. And while you always have short-term losses, you need to look at the bigger picture. Point is, thinking of it as a win-win scenario is one of the best ways to handle any setbacks or short-term losses in the market. Anyways, I have a lot more content on the way, but I just don't want to be here giving you pre-market watch lists and market sentiment or high volume tickers. You can have all the best tickers to trade on any given day, but without the right mindset, you're not going to be successful as a trader. It's basically impossible to be profitable as a trader or even preserve your capital, let alone take it to the next level. All right, my G's, I'll see you on the next one.